Okay, I've braided my hair. Now as you see, I've left the end loose. So I am just going to take that loose hair, I'm going to fold it up and just wrap it all the way up, back up the braid until I run out of hair. Now if you're using the kinky hair, you're not going to have this coming loose. And like I said, I just bury it. I'm going to take my flat lock tool. I'm going to pierce the braid. I'm going to stick that loose end of hair in there. And I'm going to bury it in the braid. So what you have here is a loop. And that's going to become an anchor. Now, to start the lock, as you can see, the density changes from where the original lock was and to where I've added this hair. I'm going to come in, again using the flat lock tool, and I'm going to just thread a small end. Now in this particular kinky twist, it's tiny on both ends. And that's going to help when you go to burying your ends. I'm going to take the hair that I've threaded into the flat lock tool. I'm going to pull it through. Not halfway, but probably a couple inches. It's your choice. Now I'm going to take that hair, I'm going to spread it. I'm just going to loosely wrap down two or three times. And then I'm going to go back up, spreading and wrapping, spreading and wrapping till I've covered up where I attached the hair. And then from there, I begin to spread, wrap, spread, wrap, spread, wrap, spread, wrap, spread, wrap. After about 10 wraps or so, I take the flat lock tool, wrap the other end of the hair, and where I've already wrapped, I just take the tool, pull the lock through, and I anchor the hair that I've already wrapped. And the reason why I do this is because that way I don't have to use adhesive, and so I'll maintain the flexibility of the lock. And again, you can do this with natural hair or synthetic hair. I just spread it, wrap it. Because you're trying not to pull it too tightly, because if you pull it tight, then you're going to get this very glossy looking section. Now, if you're running out before you get to the end of your lock, just put a clip on it where you are, so hold it. Get another section of hair. You're going to introduce it into the lock the same way. Take the flat lock tool, pierce the lock or the braid. For dreads that are locked, you may have to use something sturdier than that if they're very dense. So, This is where I was wrapping. This is where I added hair. I'm going to take this hair. I'm going to go up, making sure that I've spread it. And I'm just going to begin to wrap this hair along with the hair that I already had. And I continue wrap and spread, wrap and spread. Again, anchoring that hair that I added by laying it along the braid. And it begins to add bulk where the density difference is. They don't have to be totally smooth and even because natural dreads are not totally smooth and even. And at any given time, if you feel like you need hair, just follow that same process. And add it in. So you continue doing this till you get all the way down to where you had twisted that end up. Now make sure when I twist the end around, I go under. So if that's what I've done with the extension hair, then I'm going to come in and go over it now with my dreadlock hair. Now if I was doing a real dread extension, all this hair would be the same color. I'm going to come in with one last section. And I'm going to go into the hair that I've already done. And introduce the last of the synthetic hair to finish wrapping the dread. If you don't have a flat lock tool, it's available on my website, www.kykinks.webs.com. It's $4. So again, we're wrapping, wrapping, wrapping. Now, I'm all the way down to this fat little loop that I made. I'm going to thread the hair into the flat lock tool. And again, I'm going to go around. I'm going to come back through that anchored hair. Now normally, I would be using, like I said, all one color, so you wouldn't see the difference that this is dark and this is light, but I'm trying to do that for demonstration purposes. And so I just slide my loops down till I've covered that end. Now I'm going to go back up, spreading, wrapping, spreading, wrapping, spreading, wrapping, spreading, wrapping, wrapping loosely, wrapping, wrapping loosely, wrapping. And now, so that you don't have to use glue, I'm going to bury the end. So you take the flat lock tool and you go into one side of the braid or twist. I make about a quarter turn. I go back into it. And now I'm just going to slide the tool up under the loops and come out about an inch or so up the lock. And as you can see by pulling it out, it's cause this lock to curl crazily. So you just pull it all the way out till you get the end out. If you have any little spraggly bits like that, you can trim the little spraggly bits off. Then just come back and stretch and pull your lock, and the end is buried. And you have a fully extended, washable, wearable dreadlock extension that is almost undetectable to the naked eye. When you're using the Afro kinky hair, the more you wash it, the kinkier and tighter it'll get. That won't be the case when you're using the synthetic hair. But for somebody that just wants instant dreads, you could do this process once you've gotten good in about 6 to 8 hours for medium-sized locks, 12 to 14 if you were going to do micro locks, or say a sister lock, something like this if you were going to extend it. Thanks, YouTubers. Until next time.